to Coffee Talk Podcast, a place for all conversations. I am Sharon, your host, and I'm joined today by my baby sister, Robin Peters Porch. Thank you so very kindly for joining us on today for this podcast.
Happy to be here.
And Coffee Talk Podcast, this is a safe place, but we don't welcome ridicule. We don't welcome disrespect over here. So if you feel that Coffee Talk Podcast is a place for you and you want to join our conversation, pull up with a cup of coffee. Go ahead and follow, subscribe, and come and take a ride with us as we find our place in this little piece of the internet. So welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast.
I'm excited to be here.
And thank you so much for joining us today. So listen. We're here today to talk about fashion and style. And I know a lot of fashionable women and a lot of stylish women, but I don't know anybody like my sister when it comes to fashion and style. So when I wanted to do a segment on this, of course, I thought of my sister. And she accepted. Thank you so much for taking our time today to speak with us in this podcast on fashion and style. So once again, I am Sharon, your host, and this is my baby sister, Robin Peters Porch. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, you're most welcome. Excited about being
here. And
here.
listen, look, I like your outfit today, honey.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you.
Looking all good, girl, all stylish. So, first question. What would you say is fashion and style? And are they synonymous?
No, they are not. Fashion and style are not synonymous. A lot of people think that, and they're really not. Fashion is more or less, you could be broken down to trends. Oh. Fashion just means that whatever those designers, those design houses, whether they're your mom and pop stores, whatever they're putting out on their shelves and whatever is hot and whatever is selling at that time, what people think, oh, I'm going to go get that new skirt that Alexander McQueen put out. I'm going to go get that new Balenciaga jacket. Mm-hmm. But then next month, they're not wearing it anymore. Because it was just fashion. Now, style, honey?
Style, honey.
Style, honey?
What is style, honey?
Style is an expression of who you are through clothing. You're not following a trend. You're not following fashion houses. You're not following what the influencer put on their feed today. Mm-hmm. Style is how you want to dress and how you want to represent yourself when you go out into the world. And it speaks to who you are as a woman or a man or a child.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for that breakdown, honey. So like you say, the style is your inner confidence. It's also an extension of your personality.
Almost definitely.
A piece of your soul and the essence of you being reflected in your clothing.
Most definitely.
And so for some time, I didn't know that fashion and style were separate. Yeah. I thought they were the same. So I like how you broke it down for us. Listen, audience. You hear Miss Robin Peters Porch breaking down what fashion and style is. So if you, like me, thought they were the same, you hear what she said, that they're not the same, and that fashion is basically trends, and you can buy a dress today, and next month you don't want to wear it, but style is an expression of how you feel, your inner confidence.
That's right.
Right? So thank you so much for that. So our next question is, what would you say your style? So this is what I want to hear, honey, because when I lived, when I would be away, when I come home and you would be dressed up, I would always say, oh, Robin, where'd you get it from? I want to know the deets. And you would always tell me where you got your clothing from, and I would always be surprised when you would tell me when you get certain pieces, and it would be from different stores, and it would be high and it would be low, and then you would take those items and you put it together to create your own style. So I've always been impressed and always adored your style and how you would put your deets together and come out, baby, and face the world. So what would you say your style is?
Okay, my style is fabulous chic. And I got that from, first of all, I just want to be comfortable in my clothing. Okay. I think clothing should flow. It should sit nicely on your body. So I choose pieces that do that. Right. I remember when I was a little girl, and during that era, well, not little girl, I think I may have been like, I don't know, maybe 19 years old, and I had on a sheath dress. A sheath dress is just pretty much a box dress. Okay. And I was getting ready to go somewhere, and Dad stopped me. He said, I think you need to change that dress because it don't do nothing for your figure. Oh.
My God,
daddy. You know, I was unmarried at the time.
Hold up.
Our daddy.
I've had one of those moments with my daddy.
Our daddy. And so nevertheless, I listened.
Okay.
And I went and changed, and I put on something that, of course, was still tasteful, but it accented my shape, like Daddy said, because every time you go out into the world, you don't know who's looking at you, don't know who's checking you out. And it's not that you're putting on for people,
right.
but you should always show up as your best self. So my personal style is I want to be comfortable, I want to be chic, and I want to always show up as my best self. When people see me, like I will go places with my friend girls, and let's say I might be dressed in this or something similar to this because I love satins and silks and linens and cotton. I love natural fabrics.
She loves them, yeah.
Natural fabrics are the absolute best.
Yes.
They're not going to break you out. They're always going to sit well on your body, and they will last a long time in your wardrobe. And they are also affordable if you know where to shop. So back to what I was saying, I would go somewhere sometime with friend girls, and we would go into these beautiful boutiques or these shops. And the shop owners would always say, "Oh my God, you're so classy. I love your style." So over time, that just kind of transmuted into what does classy style look like to me.
Right.
And for me, it's linens, it's silks, it's cottons, it's those fabrics that float effortlessly on your body and can accentuate anyone's shape. You don't have to be an hourglass. You don't have to be a model. Those types of fabrics will always sit nicely on our bodies because they're natural, just like us.
Right. Some tears, I think it was my 8th grade class, told me the other day, earlier this week, they said, "Miss W, it's either you a Coke bottle, a can, or a jug."
Oh.
And I'm like, what? And it was like, yes. And then she was like, "I'm a Coke bottle." She said, she a can. She was going to another student. And then she said, "You know old girl in the class that's coming up?" And I'm like, yeah. She said, yeah, she a jug. So when we feel good about ourselves, we dress.
Oh, yeah.
According to our inner confidence. And I feel like what you're saying is that we should dress according to how we feel, but at the same time, we should dress according to our body so that we're not uncomfortable. True style shouldn't be uncomfortable.
It should not be uncomfortable.
True style should, when you walk out, you feel good. You're not somewhere at an event, you pulling and you tucking in. Every time you stand up, every time you stand up, you got to pull something up, pull something down. You got to put a tit back in. You got to, that's not style.
That's not style.
That's trends. That's fashion.
That's fashion.
And we're dressing for, I feel, others other than
yourself.
Right, than ourselves. And I like how you named all the materials that you said, of course, that coincide with your style. It doesn't matter where you go to find them.
Yeah, like this came from the thrift store.
Yeah. Well, tell our audience all the places that you go. You also find high-end items, and you also find like low-end items. So if you could share some of that, because listen, this girl knows where to go and shop, and I just tag along. I've been tagging along for as long as I can remember, and she has patience to sit and look through bins and racks. I don't. I go to the car and I say, "Well, you know me, you know my style."
You say, just
buy me something. And when we're ready to go, we're ready to go. Because I'm already ready to go. You got the patience to sit here and look, and you have the eye for detail. And when she sees style, and she knows. So just give our audience, because maybe our audience, honey, they don't shop at these places that we go to.
Right.
So just share with some of those places, share it with our audience, some of those places that you go to.
Okay, people. Number one best place to go if you are on a budget, but you want to still be fashionable and you want to still have style, is going to be the thrift stores. Yeah, I said it, the thrift stores. One of the things that we have to remember about thrift stores is that everybody donates. Everybody wants that little blue envelope so they can get their write-offs at the end of the year. So every kind of woman that wears any kind of clothes, any kind of style, any kind of fashion, she's going to donate, because let's face it, women, we love to shop. Now, some of us have a $10,000 a month budget. Some of us have a $100 a month budget. But at the end of the day, we're going to be honest. We love to shop.
We do.
And sometimes, no matter how much you love a piece, that piece is going to wear out, or you're going to get something else in your closet that's going to transcend over that one that you had before. So you're going to donate it.
Right.
It's a very affordable way to determine what your style is, because it's very affordable. Like, for instance, this satin open dress that I'm pairing with a pair of satin black slacks that I got on eBay for $5. They're Vera Wang, by the way, still brand new with the tags. And the shoes that I have on, I got from Shein. So my entire outfit, minus the jewelry that I have on, was under $20. And baby, you could not tell me that I don't look like I spent $1,000, because in actuality, if I would have spent the original cost, that's what I would have spent. But going to places like your local thrift stores, going online to shop on places like eBay, Shein, and here in the South, we have these stores that are called the Dirt Cheap or the Hudson's Dirt Cheap Treasure Hunt. And they're basically salvage stores. For all of those people that don't know, and I spent some time in the insurance industry. For people that don't know it, these stores, when you go into a store and they've already cleared out every single thing on the floor, they didn't sell that stuff. It's not possible. They do what are called business interruptions, or they do business write-offs. And what that means is they file a claim with their insurance company. Their insurance company sends them a big check, and then all that merchandise that they listed within the inventory is classified as salvage. And then you have places like the Dirt Cheap. You have these places where you can go buy these bins from Amazon or from JCPenney's, Macy's, all of those places, because these items are either returns or they're items that did not sell. They then sell that at a discounted rate because it's now classified as salvage. And places like the Dirt Cheaps, places like all of these box stores or these family deal stores or stores that you can go get stuff incredibly cheap, that's where they're getting those items from. Like, I can take you all in my coat closet. I bought $1,500 worth of designer coats from Nordstrom Rack, but I got them by way of the Dirt Cheap, and I spent $115
for all of them.
So for all 5 of them. But if I would have paid regular price, it would have cost me over $1,500. And the most expensive one was by a designer called Vince. I love his clothes. But baby, I'm not spending $800 on a trench, and that's how much one of the trenches I was able to get at the Hudson's cost me, and I only spent $30 for it. And it still had the tags hanging. And it was still available on Nordstrom Rack at the time that I purchased it. So, if you want to dime me on a budget, start at the thrift store, baby.
Consignment shops?
Oh, yes, most definitely consignment shops. The only thing I would say about consignment shops is that sometimes the prices are going to be higher.
Okay.
Because the merchandise is not even donated, it's given by someone who wants to sell it and make a profit.
Oh, okay.
So the consignment shop is going to price it higher than a thrift store, a box store, or discount stores, because the consignment shop is also trying to make a profit, and they're also trying to make a profit for the person that is selling it.
And Goodwill.
Oh yes, most definitely Goodwill. Well, that's also included in your thrift stores.
Okay.
You know, and everyone should have a Goodwill in their neighborhood, and if not, you should have one that's less than 30 minutes away from you. A Goodwill is an excellent place to start buying, thrifting, to determine what your style is, and you can do that on a budget of $20.
Salvation Army.
Oh yes, Salvation Armies. I know that, you know, ours really here didn't have that. They don't really have this.
You have to go to like bigger cities. What I do is, like when I lived in Texas, I would go to like Austin, Round Rock, Georgetown, like all those areas. Austin, honey, has a plethora of Goodwills and thrift stores. And I would go into the more wealthier neighborhoods and go to the Goodwills and the thrift stores. And of course, the selection is much better.
Oh, most definitely.
But going into bigger cities who are known to have bigger and better stores and selections, I would visit them and come out, honey, with bags of stuff for much or nothing, and then take those items, like we say, the high
and the low,
and then pair it with, you know, jeans that I got from, say, Buckle. Well, I guess that's higher.
Oh, but it is. You're talking about $200 for a pair of jeans.
No, yeah, okay.
For some denim.
I know.
Nothing wrong with that. Don't come to me.
That's part of my style. And I'm 5'10".
She has a model body also.
So no one makes my jeans. I am.
So she has to buy special jeans.
I have to go to Buckle. Okay. But for my tops, I would visit consignment shops and thrift stores and Goodwills, especially for my fall and for my winter items. You find great deals like that at those type of stores. So, honey, lovely. So my next question is, and I think I know the answer, but I'm going to ask, did you always know your style, or did it evolve over time?
I did not always know my style. It definitely evolved over time. But the snippet or the beginning of it was actually when I was in high school. Mm-hmm. We used to go on trips and all that kind of stuff. And this particular trip, I'm almost certain that you were there. I'm almost positive that you were. and it almost seemed as if Tulsa was there. Maybe it wasn't a school trip. Maybe it was a church trip. Well, anyway, you and Tulsa had both given me spending money, and so I went to I found a clearance rack in the store, and they had these beautiful navy blue with a damask print slacks, and it had a drawstring. And I remember I tried those pants on, and at that time I was like a 00 or some foolishness. And I love the way that I love the way that they looked on me. So that was the first time I would say that I was introduced into dressing like a more refined woman.
Yeah.
Because I was like 16 years old.
Yes.
How many 16-year-olds are trying to get a pair of satin slacks with a damask print? That's something that you see.
Okay, can you explain to the audience?
Damask print is more of from the era of Persian. You see a lot of damask prints in Persian rugs. You can see it in curtains. You can see it in pillowcasing. You can see it in comforters. A damask print, it almost looks like a really don't. If you look at the microscope, it almost looks like a parasite. But it just has color in it. But that's true.
So you gotta explain. I don't know what. Say it again.
Damask.
Okay, honey. She's got a mask over here. You gotta let the audience know what you're talking about. So, all that, you know, I'll have a Google up. My audience may not be ready. You gotta let them know what you're talking about.
So, guys, put in damask, and it's gonna come up, and you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about. So it will really put into the mindset of why a 16-year-old girl wanted to buy a pair of satin pants with a damask print. But for me, that's what sparked creating my personal style. And it truly just grew from there. And another one of the reasons I loved cotton and linen so much, because Sharon, you know, you and our other sister, we suffer with sarcoidosis. Right. And it causes all kind of issues with your skin. So we could not wear clothes that irritated us anyway. Right. So when I tried on those satin pants, honey, and it didn't hurt my skin, I was like, oh, snap.
And it began.
Oh my God. So from there, I tried other natural fabrics. I moved into linens. I moved into silks. And just because something is linen or just because something is silk does not mean that you're going to like it.
Okay.
It has to be.
It has to speak to you.
It has to speak to you. It truly has to speak to you.
And then it needs to, of course,
be comfortable.
And then it has to, of course, you would say accentuate your body or show the best features. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Now I would say that my style, like you, it has evolved over time, and I've become more refined and defined as I continue to find myself and showing up every day more comfortable in who I was. And I can look back at old pictures, like I can back at old pictures because I left home in 1994. I can look back at pictures as far back as 1994. And a little bit of maybe my style peeked through. Yeah. But I would look back at pictures. I'm like, what the hell you got on?
What was I thinking?
What the hell? What is that? So over time, I can see where my style, it did evolve. Yeah. And then let's just tell the truth. When you got little money.
Oh, yeah, you're going to do better.
When you got little money, you can afford it.
You can explore. Is this really my style? Yeah, I'm going to donate it. I'm going to give it away. I'm going to sell it. Yeah.
You know, we get a little style. I remember, this is a side note. I remember one time, the first time, Mom and them was visiting me when I lived in Texas, and I took her to Starbucks for the first time. And then we pull up and I order both our drinks. And she was like, how much? She was like, we don't have to get this. That's too much money. We can go to McDonald's. Right. And I was like, sugar, don't worry about it. I got this. I've graduated. I don't have to buy McDonald's coffee. I got a little money. We can now go to Starbucks now. Same thing with our style. Same thing with our style.
That is hands down.
Yeah.
Hands
down. You can buy no more.
Hands down. Absolutely.
You can go in those, you can visit and go in stores where, you know how you go in them stores and they don't have a price tag on nothing?
Oh, you got to ask.
Well, you're not supposed to ask.
That's why if you got to ask, you're not supposed to be.
You ain't supposed to be in there. So, we get a little money. You can go in them little stores like that, even if you don't spend the money. But you can go in there.
I did that once. I went in one of them stores where ain't got no price tag, and I just let the merchant know up front. I say, look, I'm not getting ready to buy nothing. I just want to look. I just want to touch and smell the item.
Touch and smell.
And she said out laughing. She said, go ahead and play all you want. But I don't know up front, y'all. I wasn't getting ready to buy nothing.
Let's be honest. We have a little money. You can add to your style. You can add pieces to your wardrobe.
Oh, most definitely.
You can explore, like you said. You can.
Oh, you just said something.
What?
Pieces. That also creates style. You're purchasing pieces,
honey, not just buying any.
Yes.
Now, there's another side note before we go into our next question. I remember when Trustler moved from Germany to Texas, and she was telling me about Ross, and I was dignified. I said, Ross. Baby, I goes to Nordstrom's and Macy's. And, you know, I goes to Baby Gap for my children. You know, all those other higher end stores. What is a Ross? You know? And then the first time I went up in Ross, I said, oh, I've been sleeping on Ross. They got some stuff up in here. But one thing that I said I wasn't going to do, I don't go in Ross and buy polyester. I go in Ross and look for the higher end
items. Yes. And they do have, believe it or not, guys, they do.
So, listen, I don't buy the cheap looking stuff in Ross. I'm on the other end.
Yes.
I buy higher items to add to my pieces so that I can show up as in my style. So, next question is, Miss Robin, what are there outside influences that help you create your style?
Oh, hands down, absolutely. And actually, some of those outside influences were you. Yes, they were you. They were Mom. They were Trustler. They were our grandmother, Mom.
Yes.
Momo.
Yes.
You always, all y'all always joking and saying that I'm Mom, Aunt Jessie, Aunt Tukey, Aunt La Sister, and Mud, all into one. And I truly am.
Yes.
My introduction to style was by watching my grandparents. And watching my older aunties, baby, they would dress. And Momo Reen, she would say, because her name was Momo Reen, y'all. Her name was Irene, but we say Reen, Momo Reen. She would say she togged down.
She what?
Togged down. That means she looked good.
Remove.
She togged down. Yeah, she togged down. So that's a lot of my style, or my idea of style actually came from watching you all. Well, and then I just added on to the things that brought me joy and that would give me that aha moment when I saw it.
I would say that's the same thing for me. And then I would experiment.
Yeah.
And then once you knew now. I would experiment. Like I always had a vision or an idea. And then, you know, at maturing, showing up and understanding the importance of good style. And knowing when to dress for the occasion also adds to who you are and your style. So I would say it's the same thing for me. And then I also use outside influences. I go to Pinterest. I think Pinterest is probably the main one that I go to, you know, to look at style and sort of gather some ideas from that as well. But in finding my style, once I got it, like I was think back in my time in Germany and I really thought I was dressing. But I'm like, nah, I wasn't dressing because I really hadn't found my style yet. My style was found because, you know, Kentucky, then Germany, and Fort Hood. Fort Hood is where I really found my style. And when I found it, I was in an outfit one day, and when I found it, I knew.
Oh, yeah.
And then from there,
the aha moment.
So I can't remember exactly when, but I knew when I found it, and I had that moment, and then from there, I began to build from there and experimenting and putting things together and showing up every day as your best self. Because I remember Trustler told me one day, she said, when you look good, you feel good. So, baby, when you look good, you feel good. So my next question, Ms. Robin, is how important is style to you? Or how important is fashion? But most definitely, how important is style to you?
Style is so important to me. We are currently filming this video.
Y'all, we are pre-recording here with my sister and her lovely home.
And we are in my studio.
Yes.
I created this studio in another room in my home so that I can put all my handbags.
And I was trying to show y'all the handbag.
So style is that important to me to where I converted an entire bedroom for my handbag collection. And then, of course, I also have my Poshmark closet in here. There's another desk area in here for another office.
Yeah.
And, of course, we also have a seating area. But style is that important to me that I created an entire space to simply explore that. Yeah. And I think that there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You may not have an entire room that you can convert in your house. Convert your bathroom.
Right.
Let your bathroom be your
expression.
Yes, your
outward expression of your internal confidence, honey.
Yeah, but style is very, very important to me. I think about that when I'm getting dressed to go do anything.
Oh, can I tell them that you work from home?
Oh, sure.
So
Oh,
my
yeah.
sister works from home. My sister has several businesses because that's one thing that if we gathered anything from our father, it was to have multiple streams of income,
Yes.
to, of course, start businesses, to pursue our passions, our goals, our interests. And she not only owns a Poshmark boutique, she homeschools. She also works for the, am I saying right?
No, I am.
Well, I didn't want to tell them all that, but let's
It's okay.
okay.
What
She
they
works,
gonna do? That's what she's saying, y'all. A style is so important to me. I work from home, but I still get dressed every day.
well,
I still put on clothes every day as if I'm walking out of the house.
so don't pay me no mind, y'all. That's what I was trying to say.
So style is that important to me to where I get dressed although I'm at my home. Even change the handbag sometimes, it don't go nowhere.
Anytime I come over here, my sister is dressed up like she going somewhere. And I show up sometimes and work out.
And I'm just in my main office working
And she-
in a whole outfit. Jewelry on.
Now I used to do that. And my bonus daughter, somebody would say, Michelle, why are you dressing up to go nowhere?
Yeah.
So I need to get back into that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to take away from the question I have for you. How important is your style? Thank you so much for answering that.
Oh, yeah.
Pulling us into your world, honey. So how do you feel about trends?
God.
I don't know. Let me see. Where are you going with it?
I'm going to answer two people. I'm going
I
to
don't
answer
like
you,
them.
and I'm going to answer the audience.
Okay.
I cannot stand trends.
Me neither. I don't like trend nothing. Nothing that's trending. I don't want to get on the train that's trending going.
Can't stand
No.
it, y'all. Cannot.
Period. Not even clothes. Just anything that's trending, period. It got nothing to do with me. It's none of my business. I'm going to show up every day as me. I'm not trying to be nobody else. You trying to be somebody else? I'm not even comfortable with being nobody else.
Just trying to
So,
be me.
right, that's it. I don't follow
Trying to be
trends.
me.
I don't like trends. Trends are not an expression.
They're not an expression.
And it's fleeting.
They're right.
It's fleeting.
And it's someone else's idea
Right.
or someone else's demand
Right.
on what you should wear. You ain't telling me what to put on. You're not going to demand that I
Right.
wear this because that's
I
what
don't
a trend
like
is. A trend is a money grab.
Oh.
We're gonna create these dresses. We're gonna create this line of shoes,
Mhm.
and we're gonna get as much money as we can at one time because everybody want to be a part of the trend.
Oh.
They want to feel left out.
Well, that leads to an off question that if for people who are chasing trends because they don't want to be left out, are they internally whole? Do they know who they are? Or are they chasing something that's outside of themselves to feel some sort of void and to feel better about themselves? But that's another podcast. Let's keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So my last question to you, because I really believe that you do. You have a podcast where you talk about fashion.
Yeah, we have a
and
YouTube
stuff.
channel. Yeah.
So you're already doing it. But for my audience on Coffee Talk Podcast, just bring us on home. If you were to teach a class on fashion and or style, what would be your main takeaways that you would want your audience to remember?
Okay. My main takeaways pretty much go back to some of the answers that I gave you in the beginning of the session. Out of everything, the most important thing is you need to be comfortable.
Oh.
If your clothing is not comfortable, nothing else about your day is going to go right. You're going to be second guessing even everything that you say, everything that you do, everywhere that you go, because you're going to be focused on, oh my God, I don't look right. Oh my God, these are too tight. Oh my God, who's looking at me? So the number one thing is you need to choose something that is comfortable first. The second thing, it needs to be synonymous with your style, your personal idea of how you want to show up as your best self every day. And then the third thing is have fun.
Boo boo.
Style
I'm talking about all the
should
way
be
down
fun.
to the shoes,
All the way down to the earrings, the
I've
purse,
worn shoes
everything.
that I had to gather myself because, honey, they were hurting. I worn earrings that when I'm at an event, they're hurting. It's too heavy, so they were stretching my whole. And as soon as I got back to the room or wherever I had to go, I took that off. I'm talking about comfortable all the way down to the earrings, to the shoes,
everything.
all accessories, the outfit, being comfortable. And if you're not comfortable, I'm not willing to torture myself. I had to learn.
Everything else
I'm
is
not
gonna
willing
go
to
right.
torture myself for
For
beauty, for fashion, for
because they're doing it for fashion.
Yeah,
They
I'm not
started doing it for fashion.
Right.
But you said something that was so funny, and this was on one of Daddy's events where he was taking Mom out for her birthday, and you were asking me what I was gonna wear, and I told you, and you said, I'm not gonna bother about asking you about your shoes because I know you already gonna have on flats. I prefer flats over heels. And contrary to what people believe, you can find some absolutely beautiful, stylish flats in so many different stores, in so many different places. I have so many renditions of flat shoes, and for me, comfort is everything. I'm gonna put on a flat and a pair of flats in a minute. And it was so funny. And you says, "Well, I'm gonna put me some heels on." But I know you're gonna have on a pair of flats, and I did have on a pair of flats. I think I had on a pair of mules that night. But yeah,
I'm the flat. I'm the heel girl at 5'10".
Right.
If people say, "Well, why do you need heels?" Already. And then this is the flat girl. But what I learned, y'all, because this year, I started full-time teaching. Yeah. And I thought every day I was going to show up in some heels. And my friends and cousins who are already in the educational field was like, okay, Sharon, okay. And I learned real quick that I couldn't be wearing no heels every single day up and down these hallways, these hallways, trying to get to class, walking upstairs and such. And yeah, I'm now in flats. I wear flats now to school. So I like that. So you said comfort,
the style should be synonymous with how you feel and how you want to show up as your best self, and just have fun.
Have fun with your style.
Yeah, have fun.
Pull pieces.
Nothing is wrong.
Like you pulling pieces together that you haven't seen on anybody else, and you pulling it together, piecing it together. You feel good about it. Even now, where it doesn't even matter if you match.
No,
like, it doesn't. Look, do your thing. But I cringe when people feel that their top has to match their shoes and the purse has to match the shoes. And like, no, I put all types of patterns together, all types of colors together. I don't care. I don't need to match. I just need to feel good. And it looks good to me. I wear my clothing for me. I'm not, look, if it inspires you and you walk up to me and tell me, baby, I like this. I like your deets. I like you looking nice. You're looking good. If you tell me, that's fine. I have, as far back as I can remember, honey, it's an internal thing. I don't need outside validation. And that's another thing. When you show up as your best self and you are wearing things that you like, it's your style, your personal style, don't worry about whether somebody tell you look good.
Yeah.
As long as you feel good, that's what matters, right? And so just showing up, feeling good about me and putting things together that I haven't seen anywhere else, but it's in my mind and my vision. That's how I see it. And I put it all together and I feel good about it. And that's what matters to me. It doesn't matter whether somebody tells me you look good or, oh, I like your outfit or I like what you have on. I just, when I dress, I don't think about that. I do because I feel good.
Right. And that's what you should.
Right. And it's my own personal style and it's how I express myself because I'm a very confident woman. And in my dress is how I express myself, and that's what matters. So thank you so much. I enjoyed.
I enjoyed you too.
I enjoyed this banter and this talk and this discussion and having fun with you and talking about fashion and style. And when I came up with the idea, I didn't think of anybody else other than my sister because I've always adored your fashion and your style and how you express yourself and that you inspire others and that we learn from you, honey. Oh, we learn from you. Like, listen, her watch collection, it's timeless pieces, it's classy, it's pieces that will last forever. She finds, look, we always ask it, everybody always wants to know, like, where'd you find that, where'd you get it? And that she just has an eye for it, she has detail for it, and when she sees it, she knows it, and she don't be like me. I'll be back to get it, and then when I come back, it's gone.
It's gone.
She knows that this is an item that's timeless and a piece that's going to be in her wardrobe or her collection for years to come. And so she knows to grab it. And so this has been beautiful. Thank you so much. We're doing this as sisters.
I know, right?
So thank you so much for joining me today on the Coffee Talk podcast. And listen, if this is a place that you would like to pull up with a cup of coffee, a place for all conversations, a place where we love to just gather and share our vantage points and our opinions and our perspectives, this is the place for you. So go ahead and like, follow, subscribe, and join us. Thank you so much for tuning in today to Coffee Talk Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me, and I love you so very much.
Oh, I love you too.
All right.